Again, it's not a coincidence to the American people at home. There are no coincidences in Washington, D.C., and it is not a coincidence that the Democrats leaked these emails to the fake news this morning ahead of Republicans reopening the government. This is another distraction campaign by the Democrat and the liberal media, and it's why I'm being asked questions about Epstein instead of the government reopening.
Caroline, just stop. Stop, because you look dumb. You look so fucking dumb. Just shut the fuck up. You lying sack of dog shit. First of all, the House Oversight Committee is both Democrat and Republican. This is not some Democrat hoax. This was not some sneaky leak to the press. The documents and emails are literally available on the House Oversight Committee website. I would know. That's where I was reading them from. And holy shit. I'm not usually privy to rich people conversations. I have an idea that they're all laughing at us. But to see it in print is hilarious. And such a difference between TikTok, where I watch the poors argue whether or not a woman should be able to buy cupcakes for her kid's classroom for their birthday on Snap. Because that's abusing the system. You want to see system abuse? Go read those emails. And they're laughing at you. Forget the Epstein shit and the trafficking part aside. We all know about all of that. It's the other shit too. What they brag about getting away with. Crazy. And if you even think for a second that Donald Trump is innocent in all of this, you're insane. And they're laughing at you.
Effort Trump has already expended, though, to keep these files from getting out. Given how engaged and otherwise fairly disengaged president seems to be in preventing even the discharge petition from moving forward in the House, begs the question, what else is in these files? Because for starters, there are the new emails that call into question this claim.
No, I had no idea.
That was Donald Trump not too long ago, claiming he had no idea that his one-time best friend was a notorious pedophile. No idea at all. Of course, even back then, his denial was pretty hard to believe. But now we have the receipts. As Epstein said of Trump in 2019, quote, "Of course he knew about the girls. Of course he knew." That's just one of the emails in a massive trove of 23,000 documents obtained from the Epstein estate and released today by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. And while MSNBC has not independently confirmed the authenticity of those emails or the allegations, several of them suggest that Trump may have known a whole lot more than he let on, like a whole lot. For instance, in another email from 2019, Epstein talks about the prior investigation and charges against him before saying, redacted name, worked at Mar-a-Lago. Trump knew of it and came to my house many times during that period. The testimony of the houseman, John Alessi, confirmed it. He never got a massage. Now, putting aside whether or not Trump got a massage himself, the suggestion that Trump knew of it certainly raises a whole lot of questions. Then there's a 2011 email from Epstein to his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, in which Epstein writes, quote, "I want you to realize that the dog that hasn't barked is Trump. Victim's name is redacted here, spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned." Ghislaine Maxwell replies, "I've been thinking about that." Now, despite it sounding a whole lot like a Sherlock Holmes reference, we don't know exactly what Trump being the dog that hasn't barked means, but it also references a victim spending hours at Epstein's house with him. And that alone is huge news. And so are the numerous other emails giving us new insight into Epstein's thinking about Trump. There's a 2018 conversation about the hush money paid to Stormy Daniels on Trump's behalf, in which Epstein said, quote, "I know how dirty Donald is." That's quite a statement. Then there's this meme shared with Epstein by his brother in 2016 with the caption, "Would you trust this man with your daughter?" There's also an email suggesting that Epstein may have still been in contact with Trump even after Trump was elected in 2016. Just a week after that election, Epstein is asked where he is, and he replies, Trump Tower. Then there's some exchanges that in a trove of very creepy emails stand out as being particularly creepy and gross. Like a 2015 email in which Epstein references, quote, my 20-year-old girlfriend in 93 that after 2 years I gave to Donald. Gave. What does gave mean? In that same exchange, he also says, would you like to see photos of Donald and girls in bikinis in my kitchen? Now, I should be clear, this is a huge, an enormous trove of emails. And understandably, some are vague, some are kind of cryptic, and many are lacking full context and details. So it's going to take time for committee members and their teams and journalists and people out there to sort through them and make complete sense of all of this. Of course, Donald Trump has long denied any wrongdoing in connection with Jeffrey Epstein's crimes, but it has never been more clear, and this was my takeaway from today, than it is today, why Trump may not want these files to be released. Listen to all the ones I just read you. That's just a sample of them. And these are also just the latest details we are getting from the Epstein estate.
Emails really speak for themselves. You know, you read it and you have a very visceral reaction to them. But I do think they just speak for themselves. And I think survivors have been very clear and consistent about our messaging that anyone who performs harm or anybody that has done any wrongdoing or has harmed people should face accountability. They should be brought to justice. And I think that survivors are holding strong to that sentiment. And I think that the only way we're ever going to be able to do that is by releasing all of the files from the government.
Right, all of the files, to see the names, and obviously to the extent that victims want their names out there, we know that there are hundreds of victims' names in there. There are also many men in there who participated, who knew, and they should be held to account.
Absolutely.
So we are learning that there was a major pressure campaign by the White House today. Now, we know there have been one for months. Trump said that anybody who would vote to release the files for that transparency, it's a hostile act to this administration. But today they invited Congresswoman Lauren Boebert to the Situation Room, an unprecedented meeting. The Attorney General there, the Deputy Attorney General there, the head of the FBI is there to try to get her to pull her signature from the petition today that moves this to a full vote on the House floor. What does it say to you that something like this would happen in the White House, in the Situation Room?
It definitely feels frustrating, but I think with everything that came to light today, you know, we are starting to see more information. I feel like we're starting to iris in, and I do think that, you know, first of all, I want to say survivors, and myself included, are incredibly grateful to the Republican women, particularly Nancy Mace and Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and of course, even though he's not a woman, Thomas Massie. You know, I think you know, we see so much media attention on this because Epstein was such a political figure or a figure of power. And there's been so much attention on our stories, but abuse happens all the time to women everywhere, and violence, you know, happens consistently to women. So I think that there's just such a broader message that for those women, particularly Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, and Mace, I think they are really standing up for women everywhere, and they're saying, they're throwing down the gauntlet of what is acceptable in society. So I just really appreciate it.
And they're doing it under incredible pressure, right? Hostile act, all of it.
Absolutely.
It seems as though Donald Trump had a very close personal relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and that he had personally spent time with victims in the Epstein operation. And I think that this is just, I mean, it's horrifying.
Who else is horrified over what was just revealed in the latest Epstein files?
Any of these emails that mention Trump's name and that identify his role in all these activities, those came from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein instead. So this is a demonstration that the government is very deliberately withholding the information that everybody is actually looking for in anything that could be damaging to Trump.
We have more breaking news right now. 3 Republicans have come out and said they will vote for the discharge petition when it reaches the House floor, breaking from Donald Trump. That's 7 Republicans total. 7 Republicans already saying they support this discharge petition to get the Epstein files out of the Department of Justice. The 3 Republicans, Warren Davidson, Eli Crane, and Don Bacon. They're conservatives, they're moderates, all spectrum, and we expect more. Because right now, there could be up to 60 Republicans that vote for this petition. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we ever see the files. What I do know is I think the floodgates are opening, because as I'm reviewing these documents, it is getting worse and worse. There are Russia connections. It's a lot, and I'm going to be providing you updates all evening, but right now, Republicans are breaking, floodgates are opening.
You appear to be, I guess a way to put it is, under the skin of Trump's anti-migrant czar, Stephen Miller. He called you a moron who hates America. You mentioned him a few times today, too, saying he has abused the fact that Donald Trump has diminished capacity. You brought him up a couple of times, which was interesting. But what did you mean by that?
Well, I very plainly, it's clear that Donald Trump has diminished capacity, which I think is sad, that the people around him are not getting him help, and instead they're just taking advantage of him. And that's what Stephen Miller is. You can tell, his rhetoric is so out of bounds. And then we know that he's the one who is advising Kristi Noem at DHS. He's the one who's advising Tom Homan, who's the kind of immigration czar, deportation czar. And of course, he's the spokesperson for this entire endeavor, including about deploying National Guard into cities. So, seems like a dangerous individual, and he has the power of the presidency because the president isn't reining him in. And so that's why I'm talking about Stephen Miller. I think that we should focus on his actions. And let's remember, and I've said this for some time, they're not always going to be in office.
And I will tell you right now, I will not raise my children to think Donald Trump is an acceptable American leader.
Oh, yeah.
Nor that he is what the leader of our great country should behave like. Yes. I won't raise them to think his terror enables his power and that his greed equals success. He is the exact opposite of what real strength looks like. Sometimes no is a full sentence. Trust me. That's right. But Donald Trump's never accepted no for an answer. He's a con artist, a predator, a malignant narcissist, in chief, and the worst president in our nation's history.
That was Jennifer Siebel Newsom, Gavin Newsom's wife, and quite frankly, could potentially be the next First Lady of the United States.
So, I do have a question. I tried to get an answer out of you on radio. Okay. The question is, when did you notice Joe Biden's cognitive decline? And don't change the subject and deflect. When did you really notice it?
Well, I think it was through all of the times that Donald Trump has fallen asleep in public and talked about, magnets getting wet in the last few,
oh my gosh.
My mom had dementia, so I recognize it.
Stephanie, this is not, it's a very good deflection. You're a professional.
You know what else is great
about
Biden's decline is that Trump is all over the Epstein files, and I'm wondering if they're going to release those. Are you covering that tonight?
Not really.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Oh, shit.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing. There we go. Dang it. I knew I shouldn't have made toast. There was a little over 5 minutes to go on the intro, and I'm like, I think I could make the toast. Well, I did make the toast. I didn't have time to eat it. So now you guys get to watch me eat toast. Mazel tov. Just keeping it professional. I'm just keeping it professional, folks. Hey, everybody. Thanks for popping in. A lot of things going on. I forgot to do the, you know how you set the upcoming video up, and you can do that like, ahead of time. And I forgot to do that. So I did that at the last second. Got the show going, but I actually had the intro all edited and ready to go like at 10:59, I think. Or maybe a little bit before, and so I was good to go. Made myself something to eat, and I ate it. I had one of those Jimmy Dean like egg and bacon scramble things, and then I finished that. Like I said, there was still 5 minutes to go, so I was like, "What if I have time to make some toast?" Anyhow, thanks for being here. Michael McAndrews was first in the chat. He popped in there. Good to see you. Mad Max, Slava Ukraini, Agoff Twitler is in here. Agoff says hemp's $48 billion per year industry, composed of mostly small farmers. The Republican Clean CR has put a federal ban on that industry, all to benefit the packing of private prisons for profit. Well, maybe farmers will. Do you think that this will make the farmers realize that they're voting for the wrong people? That maybe perhaps they shouldn't be voting for Republicans? Do you think these fucking farmers, these thick-headed motherfucking farmers who vote for fucking Trump and Republicans year after year after year, election after election after election, you think they'll finally will sink into their fucking fat fucking heads to stop voting for Republicans? Do you think it will? Because I'm not sure if it will. I mean, stupid is as stupid does. What's it going to take for these motherfuckers to stop voting for Republicans? What more can they lose? They're losing their farms. People are losing their insurance. People are losing their SNAP benefits. People are going to lose their Medicaid and Medicare. And then we're eventually going to lose Social Security. And a lot of fucking old motherfucking Republicans they vote for Republicans, these old fucks. And they're going to lose everything, and they're still going to. Are they still going to vote for Republicans? That's the question I have. What's it going to take to wake people up? Stop voting for the goddamn Republicans. If you don't want to lose your farm, and you don't want to lose your fucking benefits, your Social Security and your Medicare and your health insurance, then stop voting for fucking Republicans, for God's sakes. Other than that, I have no opinion. MJ Daniels here. Jolie's here. Hello, Jolie. Good to see you. Nefarious Enough is here. Nola Carnes. Good to see Nola. Paul Burrows is here. Puff Puff Pass. Puff Puff Pass. What could that be referring to? What do people puff? Like, I don't get it. William's here. Hey, William, good to see you. Aaron West is here. So you know what that means. We are at full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. Full mod capacity. Thank you very much. Yeah, there's William Miller Carnes. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. Good to see you. I got a little shouty, didn't I? Apologize for getting a little shouty. Not for what I said, but just maybe how I said it. Nick Rich says, I've seen all these at least twice now, if not 3 times. The dirt is deep. And Nick, this is just the tip of the iceberg, though. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Once they, if they can ever get the actual Epstein files released, it will make what we see now look like nothing. I think this is just the tip of the fucking iceberg. Let's see. We got Mike says, I always believe and do today that a coup attempt is a hostile act. You don't believe in the old peaceful coup? Yeah, Nick Rich says, according to Massey, that being Thomas Massey, the Republican who has said that he will sign the discharge order, along with Boebert and MTG and Nancy Mace, the Republicans. Those are the 4 Republicans. According to Aaron, was it Aaron Rupar or whoever that was? Or whatever. Yeah, the guy with the little headphones on there. There's a few more that have signed on, or that have said they're going to. So yeah, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Lady Jacques is here. Hey, Lady Jacques, otherwise known as Karen Ames from the Victor Valley, was here. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Sandy Foltz is here with a $2 super chat. Thank you, Sandy. Yippee. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. I'm going to make this bigger so that all the fucking maggots out there can see it. I'm in a mood now. All right, so let's see. I'm scrolling down. Sandy Foltz, I need someone to talk to. Well, here we are, Sandy. The driver's lounge, just mingle in the driver's lounge there. Christina Weimels here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Glad to have you in the driver's lounge. Luck Dragon is here. The Laker, whatever that means. Michelle the Goat. Did I already skip something? Nick Rich 11:30, so I'm 11 minutes behind. I'm 11 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 11 minutes behind. So I don't know. Did some Laker die or something? I don't know. Because what's his face? Luck Dragon says the Laker, and then someone else says the Goat. So, you guys are going to have to reiterate whatever it was you were talking about. If it's anything of import. Okay, if someone from the Lakers died, I want to know. Uh-oh, Sandy Foltz says her son's not talking to her. That's not good. Did you guys get into an argument or something? No donuts, Michael. I don't have any donuts. That's why I made toast with strawberry jam on it. Nick Rich, we hear you, TJ. Okay, so this must have been when I first came on, I guess. Your name says now you're making me hungry for toast. Sorry about that. Sandy Fold says toast is good. Yeah, and it's good bread. I like the bread I have. It's just sourdough bread. The brand is like grandma's bread or something like that. I don't know. It's pretty good. Sandy Fold says I had to do a welfare check for my son because he would not respond to my calls. Well, that I hope he's okay, and that does worry. That even no matter how old they get, like my kids are in their mid to late 20s now, and if they don't respond or something, I get I get nervous too. So. David Weiss from Denver says TJ could be powdered toast. I don't even know what powdered toast is. I've heard of powdered donuts. Who puts powder on there? Oh, we're talking about the puff puff? I don't know. Karen Ames is asking, was he okay, Sandy? Yeah, was he? Yeah, don't leave us hanging. Sandy says yes. Okay. So I'm glad he's okay. I don't know why he's not at least giving you a courtesy, yeah, Mom, I'm okay, or something. Anyhow. Nick Rich says, never trust that the billionaires will help you out. No, they don't give a shit about us. They've got more money than they can fucking ever spend in a million lifetimes. And like Stella says there, the big argument is whether or not someone on Snap can buy some fucking cupcakes for their kids, Fuck them. Fuck those goddamn billionaires. Fuck them all to hell. Michelle says trickle down doesn't work. Yeah, we've proven that over and over and over again. Christina says socialism does work here. MAGA, stop hurting us. Karen Ames says they became billionaires for a reason on the backs of the middle and lower class. That's right. They're just greedy motherfuckers. Greedy fucking motherfuckers, man. I mean, I'm scraping by. I know the majority of the people I think in this chat room, we're all sort of just getting by. We're scraping by. Whatever it is we make, we've got people making in this chat room barely over 10,000 a year, and we've got people in here probably, who knows what the limit is, but I bet you most of us are in this chat room are making, you're 30, 40, 50 grand a year, maybe in the high end 70 or 80. A few of you might be really fortunate and you're at six figures, and that's great. And I don't have any issue with that whatsoever. But my point is that here we are, let's say the average person's making 50 or 60 grand a year. That's just enough, and I know there's people going, I make 12 grand. I know that. I'm just saying that. Can you imagine if you made even $1 million a year, let's say you just cleared $1 million a year, how much different your life would be in terms of just never worrying about not paying your bills, never worry about having the fridge full of food, never worry about not having a car or transportation. You would not have any worries unless you're a dipshit who just spends every dime of that million. Then that's on you. But there's no reason if you made if you made $1 million a year, there's no reason why you could not live very, very comfortably, very, very well. So just imagine if let alone being a billionaire, just being a multimillionaire, being worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Tens of millions of dollars. When it comes to like financial matters, I don't believe that anyone like that has any fucking room to bitch about anything. Now, granted, things, there's still people, and people have health issues, they have family crisis, they have family issues, they have things that come up, and you can bitch about that. I'm not going to say you can't bitch about that or be sad or about that or, be affected by that. But if you're a multimillionaire, shut the fuck up when it comes to that somehow life is rough for you financially, This thing got smushed down. I'm just trying to unsmush it. Christina says 300 GB. I have no idea what that means. 300 Green Bay? I don't know. Karen Ames says, guess he shouldn't have worried his mom. Oh, okay. So that we're talking about Sandy's deal. But apparently he's okay. That's the main thing. Luck Dragon says, I thought all these corporations were going to spend all their extra tariff money manufacturing, but I guess that didn't work. Hashtag trickle. What is it? Well, trickle et come mushroom dick. Trickle ETA. Oh, trickle taco. When you see, that's a difficult thing for me to read. So it's trickle taco mushroom dip. Okay, funny. Karen Ames says we now have 7 Republicans. Yeah, that's what we were referring to, that are signing and in the background. I'm sure there will be way more. And there are even Swalwell and some of that is saying there's like 100. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. We'll see. Hey, Tim Farrell. The Farrell one. Toast on a stick. No, that was not on a stick. It was in my hand. Mad Max. Cinnamon toast butter, then sprinkle sugar, then sprinkle cinnamon. Yum. That sounds yummy, but I don't have any cinnamon on with me. I don't have any cinnamon in the available right now. Michael McAdrew says, I'm lucky if my son gets back to me within a week. Brooklyn SJU. Hey, Brooklyn. Good to see Brooklyn. Brooklyn says, hey, guys, did some supermarket shopping. Oh, that's good. That's good. You got some food in the apartment there. Nick Rich, 11:45. I'm only 5 minutes behind you. I'm only 5 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 5 minutes behind. Oh, thank you very much. Michael McAndrew says, saw your crash on the 3-wheeler. Damon's out there. There's Damon Dog, the big dog. Excuse me for coughing. I don't know why I'm coughing. I guess Damon Dog and met Karen Ames. Was this through a Zoom or something? Because I'm pretty sure, did Karen take a trip out to the East Coast? Elizabeth Martinez is here. Good to see you. Elizabeth says, good morning. Buenos dias. Buenos dias back at you. Hola. Hola, Elizabeth. I'm caught up now, guys. So thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We got 30 watch and 33 thumbs ups. Thank you, Thumb Month. Thank you, Thumb Month, for having us act and be like respectable Democrats as we are at a surplus. A small surplus, but it's a surplus nevertheless. Sandy Full says Italian bread is good with grape jelly. Yeah, I like some Italian. I like a little Italian bread there. I usually go with the sourdough, though. Michelle, we will see if they don't all cave. If the Republicans don't cave, well, it sounds like it's the other way around. It sounds like there's more and more Republicans that are leaving Trump. They're abandoning Trump, at least on this issue. Damon Dog says Epstein gave his girlfriend to Trump in '93. Her name was Selena Middlefart. True story. I'd probably give her away too if she had that last name. I know this is not funny. I should not be joking. I know all the women now instantly hate me. Brooklyn says fresh bread is fantastic. It is. I like fresh bread. Sandy Fold says, have some hot tea for the. I'm not choking. I was coughing. Anyhow, Tim Farrell says, Toast on a Stick was an early late show with David Letterman gag. They claim Toast on a Stick was one of their sponsors. The joke was nobody wanted to be sponsors. Thanks for clearing that up, or clarifying that up. Because I just thought you were just crazy, man. Nick Rich says, now that John is caught up, perhaps the topic will be one of joy, food. I can only talk about toast and Jimmy Dean egg and bacon scramble for so long, you know. Now I cooked it in the microwave. Okay, it's the Jimmy Dean egg and bacon scramble. I took it out of the box. I punctured it 4 times with a knife to vent for venting. I put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. After the 2 minutes, took it out. I lifted the plastic film, stirred it up real good with my fork, put the film back over it, put it back in the microwave, put it in for another 1 minute and 15 seconds. And while that was going on, I was actually toasting. So it's kind of like I had a lot of bread. If you wonder why I'm so fat, probably because of the bread content. In the toaster, I had a hamburger bun. So I toasted the hamburger bun, and then that came out. I slathered it with butter, and then when the scrambled egg and cheese scramble thingy was done, I took that out and I poured that over the bun, and then I put a slice of sharp cheddar cheese, like a sandwich slice, a slice of cheese, but it's sharp cheddar, and I put that right on the top of that hot, fresh out of the microwave, hot scrambled egg and bacon scramble thingy, and then I pressed the top of the bun over the top of that so that the cheese would get nice and melty in there. Just kind of melt over the whole melt. And then I poured myself a cup of coffee. I took a few sips of it just plain first because I like to do that. I like to taste the coffee. It tasted pretty good. But I also like French vanilla creamer, so put some French vanilla creamer in there. Put 4 little spoonfuls of sugar, stirred it all up. Came over here. Intro was still playing. I still had quite a bit of time on the intro. I think about 12 minutes. I don't know. And I was eating the scrambled bacon and egg scrambled Jimmy Dean sandwich that I made because I made it into a sandwich. And while I was eating that, I was sharing the show out to other outlets like Discord, Substack, Threads, Instagram, Blue Sky. That's what I'm doing while the intro's playing, by the way, usually. So I was sharing the show out to those platforms. And And then I think I started the goal. No, I didn't. I don't think I started the goal yet. By the way, we are one of 5 on the goal. So thank you very much. And then I ate the Jimmy Dean egg and bacon scramble sandwich. I had finished it, and that's when there was about a little over 5 minutes to go. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to make some toast. So I got up, I ran over to the toaster, and I just made the sourdough toast. And by the time the thing popped, and I buttered it, and I put the strawberry jam on it, that's when the intro was ending. Just ending. And I ran back to my seat, and just in the nick of time. But the thing is, I hadn't eaten the toast yet. So then we had 31 people watching. Since I started talking about the breakfast, we went down from 31 to 18. So Nick Rich, with all due respect, I don't know if it's a good idea to talk about food. At least not in the way I was doing it. I just lost almost half my audience. They're like, because people probably see if they see this live stream on their feed, they see the thing, molesting adolescent girls allowed, MAGA, and they're probably like, yeah, this guy's going to get into some really juicy talk about Trump and MAGA and what an asshole he is. And no, he's talking about Jimmy Dean egg and bacon scrambled sandwich that he made. Well, I'm out of here. What the fuck? That's false advertising. I thought this guy was going to be shit talking MAGA. Said he's talking about some boring ass shit about fucking Jimmy Dean egg and bacon scramble. Sometimes you got to take a risk in life, and that was one of them I just did. Jill Bratton's here. Hey, Jill, good to see you. Jill says Katie Fang, or Fang, interviewed someone from Patriotic Millionaires. Worth listening. Is you need some hope. They aren't all a-holes. Well, I know. I've heard about the Patriotic Millionaires, and I've heard that. I've heard them before. I know they're not all. That's the thing, It's never all. And those are just millionaires. They're probably not even like Jeffrey Epstein, who apparently was worth $600 million. I thought that they had said that Epstein was a billionaire at one time, but now they're saying he was worth $600 million. These patriotic millionaires, I don't know. There's probably a wide range of what they're worth, but I bet you a lot of them are just worth $5 million, $6 million, maybe $10 million, which is nice. But that's not $600 million, and that ain't $1 billion. And I think once you start, I think the more you make, the more of an asshole you become. I mean, at some point, not saying these patriotic millionaires are assholes, but there is something about when you become super, super rich, like a billionaire and a multi-billionaire, and you get up to like Jeff Bezos' level and Elon Musk's level. I mean, all of your assholeness just comes right out, man. It just comes right out. But I know they're not all assholes. Look, Dragon says corn tortillas are only good 3 times a week. Really? I don't know. Are they? Anything over makes you question your psyche. I don't think that's how you spell psyche. But anyhow, am I too poor to afford Wonder Bread? I don't know. Are you? Thank God for government cheese. Sandy Foltz, what are you going to have for lunch? That's a good question, Sandy. What I've been doing lately, because it's easy, is after the show, I go make a sandwich. a nice sandwich, either a ham and cheese sandwich, or I've got roast beef. I've got these. I had two different kinds of ham. I had like the smoked ham, and I had the just kind of more like a regular ham. I'll have on my sourdough bread. So I'll have a sandwich and some chips and a Coke for lunch usually. But I've done that for the last couple of days, so I might switch it up. I don't know. I might go out and eat maybe on my way to work. I'll just stop somewhere. Maybe Panda Express, get me some orange chicken. I really like at Panda Express. I like the teriyaki. I think my two favorite things are the orange chicken and the teriyaki chicken. And I think I like the teriyaki chicken better than the orange chicken, actually. Christina Weibel says, Dad and I are having angel hair pasta with his homemade cooked all day sauce with sausage. That sounds delicious. I bet that's delicious. That sauce. Yeah. The key is the sauce, right? I mean, you got to make the pasta right too, but the real key to it is the sauce. Nick Rich, I'd like to know what Sean Dunn had in that felony sandwich. I don't even know who Sean Dunn is. Might you elaborate a bit? Because I don't know what that's about. Karen Ames, Lady Jaka, says it's trying to rain here, and I have a doctor's appointment at 1. Yeah, that's right. The storm's coming through. Like I said, we'll probably get it tomorrow, or maybe late tonight. Depends on how fast moving it is. Mad Max says one of my shipping guys just got back with Habit burgers. I like Habit. I like the Habit. For anyone wearing the dye for Friday, 100% fill rate on tie dye. Oh, anyone wearing tie dye on Friday, 100% fill rate on tie dye shirts today. Laughing out loud. So anyone where you work wearing a tie dye shirt gets a Habit. I hope it's a cheeseburger. Yeah, I would definitely. I don't own any tie dye shirts, but I would definitely go out and buy me one if I work. If I work with you, Mad Mac, it would be worth. It would be worth the investment if you do that every Friday. That would pay for itself within a couple weeks probably. And they're delicious. The Habit. I put that right up there with one of my favorite fast food burgers. I even at one point said I like it better than In-N-Out. I think I still do. It's been a while since I've had the Habit, so. But yeah, I like the Habit. Hey, Golf Twitler says hemp's a $48 billion per year industry composed of mostly small farmers. The Republican Clean CR has put a federal ban on that industry, all to benefit the packing of private prisons for profit. Like I said, FAFO motherfuckers. I mean, I don't mean to brush it off so lightly. That it is a big thing because not only does that hurt the farmers, it hurts everyone because hemp is a great product. It is a great renewable crop that can make so many things besides just, people always talk about paper, but there's hempcrete. I mean, there's just so many things that hemp can do that are, and it's a really a great crop, much more environmentally friendly than a lot of other things. So I shouldn't brush it off so lightly. I mean, or that it's just hurting these maggot farmers. And I know I'm overgeneralizing because someone will say they're not all MAGA farmers. Some of those farmers voted for Democrats or whatever. And I know. Okay, I'm overgeneralizing, or generalizing. Maybe I'm overgeneralizing, but but it also hurts all of us because we all benefit from things like hemp and the great things that hemp can do. So, yeah. Christina Weibel says, it's okay, John. I shared that meme on my Facebook. Oh, that one there? The MAGA one? Karen Ames says, Habit stopped making Impossible Burgers and went to vegetarian burgers, which are gross. Aren't Impossible Burgers vegetarian burgers? Shows how much I know. Nick Rich, 12 noon. 7 minutes behind you, Nick Rich. I'm 7 minutes behind. I'm only 7 little minutes behind. Karen Ames says, we aren't having a Thanksgiving dinner this year. Yeah, I bet you're not the only one. Because of things are just too expensive. Who can afford it? Luck Dragon says, we should be talking about bombing boats filled with pedophiles that think they own the world? I don't know, should we? No, we should be talking about fucking locking up Donald Trump, okay? And, anyone else who's guilty of raping young girls and young boys. It's not just girls either. Anna Morris says, hello, TJ and fellow loungers. The Trump administration is going to hell. It's going to hell. My phone is charging, watching on TV. All right. Thanks for watching, Anna Morris. Glad to see you. Michelle's here, 1 p.m. in Phoenix. It's 1 p.m. in Phoenix. Phoenix don't do none of that daylight savings crap. No siree. No siree, don't do it to me. Christina Weibel says government cheese is the best. It's the best. Mad Mac 100% fresh ground beef is what the Habit Burger makes. They have a veggie burger, which I won't try with a 10-foot pole, but I'll take your word for it and never try it. Soulcraft. Hey, Soulcraft. Soulcraft's here. Says, try the honey sesame. If you go to PE? The fuck is PE? Panda Express? Oh, Panda Express. Okay, duh. Okay. I think I've tried everything there, actually, at one time or another. Christina Wyoming, crock pot sauce. Yeah, it's all in the sauce. DPD and no to Panda Express. Okay, whatever. Egal Twiller, the Earl of Sandwich. Sean Dunn. Still not ringing any bells. Sorry. Sonny Foles says, TJ, what are you going to do? What are you going to eat on Thanksgiving? Probably turkey, ham, mashed potatoes and gravy, green bean casserole. Let's see what else is in there. Probably a dinner roll with butter. Probably have a beer or two with it. What else am I going to have? I don't really like cranberries and shit like that. Maybe some dressing with the turkey. Might be a salad. Nick Rich, refill required. Be right back. Mad Max says, yeah, the boss, me, buys lunch on Fridays. For anyone wearing the tie-dye today got sort of expensive. Laugh out. All good for the gang. Yeah, hell yeah. They're not. Hey, it sounds like you got a bunch of smart people under you. They know a good thing when they see it. Those fucking Habit burgers are fucking awesome. They're delicious. Michael McAndrew says, I just had the original ham sandwich from the Honey Baked Ham store here. $10. Really good on a French bun. That sounds good. DBD 5844 says, did anyone see that Deepak Chopra was mentioned? Chopra. Not Oprah, but Chopra. You know, that guy who they tried to assassinate, right? A few years ago. Was mentioned in the Epstein files. Oh, I think I may have heard that. Like a while back. Another $5 super sticker from Nola Carnes. Thank you, Nola Carnes. Yippee goes out to Nola Carnes for that $5 super sticker. And with a little cat saying hiya. Lady Lake says Impossible Burgers are plant-based that taste better than veggie burgers. Well, aren't veggie burgers plant-based? I don't know. Not trying to be argumentative. I mean, I thought they were both plant-based. Mrs. Buck, I can't believe the unbelievable burgers. I remember trying like a few years ago when they sort of came out with the Impossible Burger, and they had it at Burger King. And I went ahead and got one. In fact, I think I got a couple of times. I got it just to try it, see if I would like it, and it was all right. But then I'm like, if I was going to be like a full-on vegetarian, it would be a good thing to have. But I'm not a vegetarian, so. But I did try it. I thought it was okay. There was something about it, though. I remember I did have a criticism about it. Like, I think maybe the cooks didn't know how to cook it. Like maybe they kind of undercooked it, maybe, or something. I don't know. And there was a little bit of an odor to it that was kind of off-putting. Nicker says Sean Dunn was acquitted by a jury in what was considered a harmless gesture. That guy. The Subway sandwich guy. If you would have said Subway sandwich instead of sandwich of Earl or whatever, then I probably would have got it. Right? He's the guy that threw the foot long. Wasn't that I thought that was a Subway sandwich. A foot long. I don't know why he came up actually in the chat. I guess because I said I was going to have a sandwich for lunch. All right. Christina will remove the effing regime. That would be nice. It would be nice if we could just get rid of all of them. All those goddamn Republicans. Karen Ames says also Epstein, Bannon, Russia, Trump connection. It's all connected. Russia always comes into it. Russia has their fucking dirty fingers in all this shit. Michael McAndrew says the doc says to the ICE thug, now where did the elephant first touch you? Boom. Michael McAndrews, turkey, gravy, potato, gravy, green beans, gravy, cornbread, gravy, and gravy. Lots of gravy for Michael, apparently. Sandy Foltz, I'm cooking my own turkey dinner. I bet you are. I bet you are. You're probably going to make a really nice meal. But that'll be a really nice meal. Michael McAndrews, we see the payoffs in extortion and bribery and corruption. David Dog, both my renters work at Subway. Karen Ames says in the new email dump from Oversight. Christine Weibel says Epstein was giving info on Dinky to Putin. Yep. Yeah, he was. DBD 5844 says those are the best veggie burgers with black beans and roasted corn. Karen Ames says that Bannon created MAGA movement to get the media away from something. So you're saying Bannon created the MAGA movement? Sandy Foltz, I like BLT subs. to get away from the Epstein relationship. I didn't know Bannon created MAGA movement, but it stands to reason that Trump wouldn't come up on that on his own. Agov Twitler says Megyn Kelly says Epstein is not a pedo because he was into 14-year-olds and not 8-year-olds. This is how they move the goalposts to vote for Roy Moore. Yeah, I remember Roy Moore, and I saw some of that. And she uses the term barely legal, like somehow. First of all, she doesn't know. Well, either she does know, or she's just a liar, or she's just stupid. Barely legal means someone who just turned 18, like that day, or within a few days, or a few weeks, or maybe a few months. That would be barely legal, because they're 18, but they're just barely legal. They just turned 18. If 18 is the legal age for wherever you're at. So yeah, it doesn't mean like a mature 15-year-old, or a physically mature 15-year-old. That's not barely legal. That's still very not legal. And for Megyn Kelly, who I believe sued Roger Ailes and for some sort of sexual harassment or whatever it was, and I believe she got a really big payday out of it, multiple millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, and for her to come out now and talk like that is sickening. It's absolutely sickening. There was a time when I could look at Megyn Kelly and not really agree with her, but think, well, at least I think she's somewhat being honest about how she feels, or whatever. She didn't seem to be too inflammatory with what she said, with the things I'm talking about years ago. But now with this that she just said this a day or two ago about this barely legal shit. My God, what a horrible fucking human being she is. I mean, horrible. Fucking absolutely horrible. She is. I mean, like I said, I was willing to kind of give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she's a decent human being. Not anymore, Megyn. You're off my decent human being list. You've gone on to the truly horrible list. She is truly horrible. I kind of felt sorry for her when Trump said she's bleeding, and isn't that who he was talking about? Wasn't it Megyn Kelly? Basically talking about, I guess he was talking about her period, wasn't he, or something? I don't know. I felt sorry for her. Not that I'm going to say, oh, she deserved that, but now, Megyn Kelly, you are a horrible fucking person. That you would try to even go down that road to try to give Trump some sort of wiggle room or something, or any of these people that are on this list or that are going to be exposed here. They try to give them any type of wiggle room, like that 15 is way different than 8. It's underage. And even 18 is gross, but I'm just saying that, barely legal is 18. It's not 15. It's not 14. It's not 16. It's not 17. 17 is not barely legal. 17 might be almost 18. I'll give you that much. 17 is almost 18, but it's not barely legal. it's very illegal in terms of, you know, anyone over 18 having some sort of sexual relations with someone. It's very illegal, at 17. It's not barely legal. Barely legal is 18. That means then that refers to someone like just turning 18, and so they're barely legal, just barely legal, just barely, and it could be for drinking, like when, let's say now it's 21 all over, but it used to be 18 in some states for drinking. But even if it's 21, you could say you turn 21 and like you're barely legal to drink now. You're just barely legal because you just turned 21. That's what that means. It means you just turned whatever the legal age of consent is of whatever it is we're talking about. When you turn that age, you could say, yeah, you're barely legal. And if you're under that age, you're not legal. You're not even legal at all. I don't care if you're 17 and 11/12 or whatever. I don't know. I'm not good at math, but you know what I mean. I don't care if you're 17 and 99/100ths. You're not legal. You're still not legal. And when you turn that age, whatever, like we're talking about 18 for this, when it comes to this subject, then you turned 18. Hey man, you're barely legal. You're just barely legal because you just turned 18. You're barely legal. And for Megyn Kelly to try to spin that or let anyone get off the hook here is despicable and disgusting. Hey, Christina and Sun Go Squad is here. Hey, Christina, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out with us. Christina Weibel says Bannon has 15 hours of Epstein conversations. I wonder if there's anything good on those that we should know about. Karen Ames says there's new info about Bannon and Epstein being Epstein relationship being business partners. Egal Twitler, 14 is not legal. It is not. This is I just went over the last 15 minutes on that. Nick Rich says, is John going to put in a lot of hours making tips this weekend? I don't know. Is he? Is he? I don't know. Is he? He should. He should. He definitely should. Nola Carr says, I am going to my son's for Thanksgiving, and I know he will deep fry the turkey. It is good. That does sound good. Christina and Sun Go Squad says, hope everyone is well. Just back from another appointment. It's never ending, so I missed all the news today. Basically, all I saw so far this morning was just Epstein. Epstein. Emails. Sunny Fold says, I was in a taxi yesterday going home. We had to drop someone who lived near my grandma. Her old house had a condemned sign on it. Oh, that's kind of sad, huh? Christina Sun Goes says, my son just turned 20, and I still don't think he's mature enough for any of that. Any of what? Joe Brent, Five Guys has the best BLTs. Oh, I've never had a BLT at Five Guys, I don't think. I do like the Five Guy burgers. They're expensive, and I like the fries, of course. I do like the Five Guy hamburgers. I think they're good. But anyhow, Joe Brent says you can also get bacon in a caramel milkshake. Sounds gross, but kind of good. Yeah, I've heard those are really good. I don't know if I've had like those bacon type of milkshakes and stuff. I don't think I have. But people swear by them. They say they're really good. Egal Twitler says, I bet the internet is giving Megyn a massive ratio treatment. I'm not really up to date on all the terms. I know people talk about getting ratioed. They're getting ratioed. You kids out there with your lingo. So does that mean like they get more like thumbs downs or something, or they get more negative feedback or something? Someone schooled me on these new lingos that you young kids are bringing up now. Karen Ames says, I think Megan. I think you're saying Megan has a 15-year-old under 18 is child rape. They cannot consent. Yeah, absolutely. And that makes it even worse, right? I mean, fucking Megyn Kelly has a 15-year-old. So I got to ask it. It's rhetorical. But would she be okay if Donald Trump or any man, anyone over 18, but let's just say Donald Trump, she probably would be okay if Donald Trump had sex with her daughter. And like you say, it's not sex, it's rape because they're underage. They can't consent. So would she be okay with dudes coming over and raping her daughter on a daily basis? Because that's what was happening to these girls. They were getting raped just, whenever someone would come over, whether it was on the island or whether it was at one of Epstein's places. Someone needs to ask Megyn Kelly, would she be all right if someone went over and raped her daughter? And then Megan might say, because she's thinking that it's not rape, it's sex. And so she might try to, I don't know, who knows what she would say, but it's disgusting. She should almost have child services called on her at this point. Christina and Sun Go Squad says, yeah, no wonder they don't like women because, I mean, when you look at these Republicans on TV, they're horrific. Christina Weil, she gives real women a bad name, talking about Megyn Kelly, I think. DBD, Megyn Kelly is a vile piece of trash who should maybe be banned from humanity. I guess she will raise her two sons with the motto, boys will be boys. Yeah. Yeah, that's despicable. Like, she's got kids that are in that age that she was talking about, that age group, where she apparently thinks it's not as bad as if they were being raped when they were 8. I guess that's how she would frame it. Like if someone was raping her 15-year-olds and her 13-year-old, would she just say, well, at least it didn't happen when they were 8? Fuck you, Megyn Kelly. Fuck you. I would say this. I would say the C word, but I don't want. I think people get mad at me when I use the C word. Karen Ames says Epstein plotted with Bannon to get Christian Blakely fired, I guess, or Ford. Maybe that's Ford. I think it's Ford. Christine Blasey Ford, I think it is. Well, anyhow, discredited to get Kavanaugh elected. Oh, that's right. Okay. It's coming back to me now. It's coming back to me. Epstein must have paid Kavanaugh's debts. Newly released today. That came. Well, what came out today? The plot. But or about the payments, because I was just wondering that the other day, remembering that Brett Kavanaugh had, like, I don't know, didn't he have like $500,000 in debts or something, or maybe it was more. I don't know if it was in the millions, but I think it was like in the hundreds of thousands of dollars of debts, and then all of a sudden those went away. Boom, got all cleared up, and everyone was like, where did he get the money to pay those debts all of a sudden? I was just thinking that the other day. So did that come out too? And if so, for the love of God, could we please impeach that motherfucker? of course, no impeachments will happen until we get the numbers that we need and everything, and the presidency. William says, my mother always said you don't really grow up until you're 30. She may have had something there. Yeah, and I've always heard that like the human brain or whatever doesn't really fully, I guess the emotional centers of your brain don't really mature or something until you're like 25. Like you're not really an adult emotionally, maybe, or something like that. But I always heard 25 was what the scientists say. Okay, I'll say, here we go. Agos Twitter says ratioed when more people comment against you than the number of likes you get on a post. So I was kind of on the right track, right? I was on the right track. I said when you get more thumbs downs than you do thumbs ups, so I think I was on the right track. But thanks for clearing that up, Agoff. I do appreciate you. You young kid, with all the young kid lingo, ratioed. That's what the kids are saying these days. Mad Max says, I don't know why, but numerous Five Guys in Washington State feel the need to form your burgers in the wrapper into a softball. Pisses me off. Who wants to bite into a smooshed up burger? I don't think I've ever experienced that. Granted, I don't believe I've ever had a Five Guys up there in Washington State. Sunny folks, John, are you going to go to someone's house? Yeah, I'm going to my daughter's house for Thanksgiving. DBD 5844 says, not to mention Trump paid a boy's family millions of dollars in a settlement due to molestation. Right. That's why I mentioned it's been boys too, not just girls. Yep. Christina Sun Ghost Squad says, John, my son has a learning disability. I consider my son I have the mind of a 17-year-old, not a 20-year-old. I think they should start taking that into consideration too with these cases. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, didn't really think of that, but yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, Fancy's here. Hey, Fancy, good to see you. Speaking of the habit, we've been talking about the habit, Fancy. Remember, I remember a couple years ago or a year, whatever it was, we did a whole thing on the habit, and that's when I said I said, dare I say this sounds sacrilegious, but I think the habit is better than In-N-Out. And then Fancy promptly went down to In-N-Out, probably went down to the habit because there was one near her house, and I think Fancy came to the same conclusion. Anyhow, good to see you, Fancy. Thanks for coming on in. I appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us for a bit. Karen Ames says, my mom used to say we don't get smart until we are 30. So almost the same. Yeah. There it is. Karen Ames, Christina Blasey Ford. Sorry, that's okay. I know. I'm just trying to. And it had been a while since I've heard her name, and it took me a minute to kind of remember it and have it all come back to me. DPD 5844 says the TJ said the same thing, that any parent or guardian who feels the way Megan should be investigated for child abuse and neglect. Of course, I said it on Facebook. Of course you did. Well, it makes you wonder, right? She has a 15. If she has a 15-year-old daughter and she has a 13-year-old son, and she's saying like, well, it's not this bad. It's not like they were, screwing 8-year-olds. I mean, what a incredibly just unbelievable. I'm trying to think of the word here. This is like an unbelievable thing to say. I mean, I know we could say it's disgusting and it's horrible and all that stuff, but it's also unbelievable that Megyn Kelly would say that when she has a 15-year-old daughter. She's practically saying she doesn't care if someone raped her 15-year-old daughter. It's unbelievable the things that these people will say to defend fucking Trump. It's all about defending Trump, that they would even fucking basically say that that it's okay if someone raped their 15-year-old daughter. Because it's not like she's 8. There's a difference. There's not a difference, Megyn. They're both underage. And it's rape in either case. Like I said, all the way up to 17 years and 99 100ths or whatever, however far you want to carry it out. Until the clock strikes midnight on your birthday, then on your 18th, you are fucking not to be touched. Not to say that you could rape someone who's 18 or over, but you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. At least then, you could under by law, you could have consensual sex with an 18-year-old. It would be consensual if it's consensual. It could still be rape if it's not consensual. But you know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. Oh lordy, please let me know you guys know what I mean. Don't make me have to explain it. Karen Ames says, I roll my hamburgers in a ball, then flatten them in my hand to form the burger. Yeah, you do that with when you're at home making your own. Yeah, but I think it's kind of weird. I've never seen Five Guys do that. Fancy says, oh yeah, that is a good burger. Yeah, the Habit. Karen Ames says, I need coffee so bad right now. I have to leave in a few for my doctor's appointment. Michael McAndrews, don't want her as my neighbor. Who Megyn Kelly? Christina and Sun Go Squad says, it just goes to show you that Megyn Kelly was a slut when she was 15, screwing everything that walked, so she didn't think it was a big deal. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. But it's fucked up. Especially the fact that I didn't know she had a 15-year-old daughter. So that makes it even creepier. That makes it so much creepier. And I'm concerned for her daughter now. John Deff is here. Hey, John, good to see you. John Deff says the mental gymnastics to a maggot are unbelievable. Yeah, John, that's just crazy. What they will do to defend this fucking pedophile in the White House. Agolf Twitler says the pedo goalposts are being moved, and we know why. Yeah, because he's guilty as fuck, right? Fancy says, I know what you mean. 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 Oh, okay. Michael, we know what you mean. Okay. Joe Bratton, we know what you mean. Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Thanks for letting me know you know what I mean. I do you know what I mean? Nola Barr says, if it's in a ball, it's just a large meatball. But what you do, how you get the thing, you kind of roll it in a ball, and then you flatten it out. And then I kind of do this kind of a thing, kind of a patty cake thing, Anyhow. Lady Jacques, Karen Ames says, I will catch everyone later. Have a good weekend. You too, Karen Ames. I will be on tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And Hope you have a good doctor's appointment. Hope everything goes well for you, Karen. Hope you make it on time. I hope you don't have to wait too long, like we were talking about yesterday about waiting for so damn long. So I hope you don't have to wait too damn long. Remember the trick about the wastebasket, though. Christina and Son Ghost Squad says, Karen Ames, I just made coffee. I'm all ready for the rest of the day. Christina Weibel, actually was a professional barista. I just learned from one of Christina's videos the other day. But was more than that. Was like what were you, Christina? Like some sort of official job? How to make trying to make a was it a Greek, some type of Greek coffee or something? My daughter was a Starbucks barista for like a couple years. Let's see here. Hey, Golf Twiller, you were only a minute behind Trucker John. It's going to be a convoy. Yeah, I'm pretty much caught up today. There's something about not having the upcoming show up overnight that makes a big difference, because when I got in here today, I started so late with the upcoming thing. So not very many people were in here. But if I do it like a day ahead or the night before, then you guys get in here and you do a lot of chatting before I even wake up, or before I even start the show. So that made the difference. I think that made the difference. DPD 5844 says, if we as a collective society cannot agree that sexual assault is criminal, despite the age, race, or gender of the victim, sexual assault is fucking crime, period. If we cannot agree on this fundamental issue, who are we? Yeah. Who the fuck are we? Yeah, it's not okay in this one case, but not okay in that case. We don't get to cherry pick where it's okay and where it's not okay. It's either okay or it's not okay. And I think that we would all agree, and most of us would agree, that it's not okay in any case. Sexual assault and rape and any of that kind of stuff, it's not okay, regardless of age, race, gender, and all that. Christina the Sun Ghost Squad says, I was working for Starbucks at the time when I made that video, and that was to become a coffee master. That's what it was. That was one of the tasks, to do that video and share it. And I graduated with honors. Thank you. You're welcome. Nefarious Enough, always enjoy the intros. Thank you, Nefarious. I appreciate that. I do put some work into it. I find them and cut them down and edit them and rearrange them, and it's a little more time consuming than one might think. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, agree, no is no regardless. Stephanie B. Hey, Stephanie B's here. Hello, everybody. Hello, Stephanie B. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on in to the old driver's lounge. I do appreciate you. Now, I do have a little programming. I don't know if it's an update, but I have been thinking of changing the start times of the show. Now, I know Sandy. I don't know if Sandy is still in here. Sandy Foltz. She suggested and would like if I would just do my shows every day at 11 a.m. Pacific time, instead of doing this like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It's 11. Tuesdays and Thursdays I go on at 9 a.m. my time. And I think I might do something like that. Or I actually was thinking of kind of splitting it in the middle, instead of 9 or instead of 11, maybe just going on at 10 my time. Remember, you guys back east, you got to add 3 hours. If you're in the middle of the country, it's 2 hours. Unless you're in almost between the middle and the left, then it's only 1 hour. Anyhow, so I'm kind of thinking of just going on Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. and then on Saturdays I would still do 11 to go on after Hal on Saturdays. So I might do that. I don't think it would make much of a difference with you guys, right? If I came on at, let's say if I came on 10 a.m. Pacific time instead of 11 or 9 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, just having it be more the same time every day. Fancy says that's a good idea. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe starting Monday. I think I'm going to come on at 10 because I kind of like the 9 because it's early and I can get done early and then still have my day to go out and do stuff. But it is kind of nice when it's 11. Then I'm usually not as much of a hurry because I kind of wake up a little later. So maybe I'll split the difference and go to 10. You know. So I think I might go to 10 o'clock my time. Mrs. Buck, that would screw up my chicken schedule. Paul Burrows is here. Says, "Hey, you lucky people, I'm back. I'm back." So maybe we'll next week, starting on Monday, I'll start coming on at 10 o'clock, and we'll try it for the week and see how it goes. Christina Sun Ghost Squad says, "What the hell is 10 a.m. Pacific time?" It just add 3 hours, Christina. Pacific time to Eastern Standard Time. Is that 1 every day instead of 2? Yes. It's a 3 hour difference. It's just 3 hours. It's MJ Daniel says allowed or acceptable also works. Both are true. I'm not sure what that was in reference to. Nick Rich, we all have a limited amount of time. Mad Matt says, I wish it did anything, but sadly it doesn't affect me. I could drink that at 11 p.m. and go to sleep in seconds. It sucks on days when I'm dragging and want some help. I'll laugh it out loud. I don't even know what that was in reference to. Hey, there's Roxanne79. Good to see Roxanne. Thanks for coming on in, hanging out with us for a little bit. MJ Daniels, your MAGA meme. Oh. Okay. I know it's right there, right next to my head. You think I would have known what I should have known what you're talking about. Molesting adolescent girls accepted, or allowed. Yeah. And apparently, especially if, according to Megyn Kelly, she somehow thinks 15 is barely legal, and it's, and she has a 15-year-old daughter, so just disgusting. The things that they, like I said, will do to protect their fucking pedophile in chief. Now here's this here. I like this meme. You guys see this one? Any party that would impeach a president over a blowjob, a consensual blowjob, I might add, must impeach a president for raping children. How's that for in your face? Do you? I think we're all old enough in this chat. We remember fucking Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and that whole thing, and how the Republicans impeached him because he basically Clinton, wouldn't own up to it. And I think, when he said he didn't have the way he worded it, like sexual relations or something like that. I mean, I don't know. It was evasive, but the argument was like he was talking about that they didn't have intercourse, and so his argument is like, I didn't lie. I thought you were asking if we had intercourse or not. A blowjob's just a blowjob, and it was consensual. And Monica Lewinsky was in her mid-20s. She wasn't 15, and she wasn't even 18. For Christ's sake, but the Republicans, led by Newt Gingrich, who was I think at the time he may have been having an affair on his wife, who was dying in the hospital at the time, and and a whole bunch of them, of these Republicans that it's been known were out, cheating on their wives, carousing, doing all this kind of stuff, but want to act like, the pearl clutching that was going on over the Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton deal, just the hypocrisy, the double standard, the lying by the Republicans to try to come off as though they're holier than thou. And so they do that. They impeach Clinton. Have I been calling Clinton Trump the whole time? They impeached Clinton. I hope I wasn't calling Clinton Trump this whole time. Maybe I was, wasn't I? I don't know. But now, I mean, this is this is like a billion times more serious. As far as I'm concerned, the Clinton Lewinsky thing, I mean, yeah, it's not good. I consider that cheating on his wife, even if it wasn't intercourse and it was just the blowjob. I personally would consider that cheating. But that's not up to me. That's up to Bill and Hillary. And I don't know. Apparently, Hillary, she stayed with him all these years, and she could have divorced him any time she wanted to. I don't know, and I don't know if she's ever said what their personal situation is as far as what they allow the other person to do. So Hillary might not have considered that cheating, but that's between her and Bill. That's not between me and anybody else. But yeah, I mean, I can see how, okay, it might look bad that the president of the United States is getting blowjobs in the Oval Office, or I guess it was the Oval Office. I don't even know for sure. I think it was, but it's still consensual. They were adults. I've never heard Monica Lewinsky say anything about it not being consensual. And then their guy, and they know that this motherfucker is guilty. They know that Donald Trump is a sick, depraved, fucking monster that has been raping children for decades. They know it. Now, we do have reports that up to 100 Republicans are going to sign on to this discharge notice. I've heard Eric Swalwell says 100. And now the most recent one is that 3 more have said that they will. That brings it up to 7 Republicans. So at least give them credit for that, I guess. But It's always a double standard with these guys. It's always hypocrisy with these Republicans. And it's not just a little bit. This is like gross. I mean, double standard. You know, it's a huge double standard. MJ Daniel says, gross. Maybe Kelly is willing to introduce her underage daughter to Uncle Ted. I know he likes them young, just like, oh, talking about Ted Nugent, I think. I know he likes them young, just like the rest of MAGA. MAGA would be fine with her being alone with Don Jr., right? And the reality is that she's probably not. And the really the sick thing is that she would be willing to say that on her show just to get the clicks, just to get the eyeballs, just to get the attention. That, you know, doesn't make it any better. That doesn't make her any better of a mother. That, you know, she would say these things. Agal Twitler, Kenneth Starr was also Epstein's lawyer? Really? Wow. Wow, oh wow, oh wow. How this web, this wicked web we weave. Christina Sangosqua says, right, I mean, I always thought the president should hold himself to a higher standard. But if you ask somebody for a BJ and they oblige, then that's, you know what it is. But yeah, wait, that's, you know, is what it is. It is what it is. DBD 54, I say we need to deport or exile the Nazi fascist white nationalist regime of pedophiles, including their Gold Friday Megyn Kelly, to their own island, and all the freaks can duke it out amongst them. I hear there's an island available. Did Jeffrey Epstein, he actually owned his own island? Is that the deal? Is that island that was actually he? How the hell did he get that island? Because he fucking, that's got to be the stuff. There's got to be, all that shit's got to be somewhere, right? He had videos, Jeffrey Epstein, on everybody, and he blackmailed everybody. That's why he had his own island. That's why he had planes, and that's why he had big fancy houses in New York City. That's why he had $600 million. They said he was worth $600 million because this guy was blackmailing everybody. Adolf Twitler says Kenneth Starr was a member of Jeffrey Epstein's legal defense team in the mid to late 2000s, helping to negotiate the controversial 2008 non-prosecution agreement. Wow, Kenneth Starr. And here's another guy. You know, he's deceased now, so I'll talk as much shit about him as I want. This motherfucker, Kenneth Starr, I'm pretty sure he was one of those like Christian cross-wearing fuckers that tried to present himself as all, you know, Joe Christian, holy Christian. And, you know, he goes after Clinton the way he did with the Starr Report. And then, you know, he's a part of this legal defense team for Epstein that got him that sweetheart deal for basically raping or molesting minors in Florida. It should have I think that should have gotten him a life sentence, or at least decades. And it got him basically a work release program where they gave him the key, and he would go in, and I guess he checked in at night. I guess he had a bed and he would go in at night, sleep there. In the morning, he would leave, go back to his place, go back and get massages. He was getting massages while he was on this work release program and serving out his sentence of whatever it was. I don't even know if it was a year. You know, whatever it was, a few months or a year or whatever it was. While he was serving his sentence, he would go home and get these massages from these underage girls while he was serving the sentence. Then he would go back to the little jail that they gave him the key to, and he would go in, go to sleep, get up in the morning, go back to his place. And that's what Kenneth Starr, this holy rolling fucking attorney, was on the team there to help get that deal. And, who was the Florida AG at the time? I think it was Pam Bondi, I believe. Pam Bondi, ladies and gentlemen, it was Pam Bondi. And the answer is Pam Bondi. These names keep showing up over and over again. These same names throughout the course of this whole Epstein thing keep popping up. Pam Bondi, of all people. Hey, God Twiller, that allowed Epstein to avoid federal charges. Yeah. Roxanne 79 says they live in separate parts of the house. They could live in separate parts of the house. Yeah, with Acosta, Trump's labor secretary. Yeah, Acosta was he the DA. I think Bondi was I think Bondi was the state AG, or was she the DA? Anyhow, and Acosta was either one of those two things. Yeah, and then Acosta would become Trump's labor secretary. MJ Daniel says the Republicans hate them for staying together, but DJT and other top Republicans with multiple divorces or cheating are good family men. Yeah, good. Those Republicans and their family values, right? They're such hypocrites, such fucking hypocrites, man. And yet they keep getting elected. People still vote for them. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says some people have open marriages and are fine with that, and that's their business. However, if you're president, you should wait till you're not president anymore to do that, or at least maybe not in the Oval Office. Again, I'm not sure if it was the Oval Office, but I think it was. But at least maybe, I don't know, get a fucking hotel or something. I guess, I don't know. I guess when you're president, maybe it's hard to sneak away. Now, if you watch House of Cards, you know that they just have that little door that goes in that stairway, that hidden stairwell thing. That might be a great spot to get a blowjob, but In fact, spoiler alert. In what season was it? 5 that I just watched, or 6? 5. There was some blowjob action going on in that stairwell, I believe. Well, they didn't really show it, so I'm assuming there was blowjob action because they cut away, so I don't know. But there was something went on in that stairwell on House of Cards. So, maybe I would have snuck off down there instead of doing it in the Oval Office. Anyhow. Roxanne 79 says consensual adults is different from raping children. Both horrible looks for the presidency. One a lot worse than the other. I don't really think it's a horrible look. I mean, I don't think it's I really don't think that what Monica and Bill did was horrible. Now, I think it's maybe not good judgment. I maybe inappropriate. Inappropriate might be the word I would use. I would use inappropriate over horrible. I don't think it was horrible. To me, horrible is something that's just really awful and despicable, and I don't. So while I might say that what they did was I'm not even sure if I want to say wrong, but I would say inappropriate. I would say inappropriate for Bill and Monica. I would say that's inappropriate, but I wouldn't say it's horrible. But I would say raping children is horrible. That definitely falls into the horrible category. But getting a blowjob from consensual adults, consensual, I don't believe that's horrible. It might be inappropriate in certain cases, and that was probably one of them. That's probably, I think the word inappropriate fits perfectly for Monica and Bill. I don't think it's horrible though. But I do think Trump raping children is absolutely 100% horrible. Christina Sungoswa says, I don't know. I rather the president got a BJ in the office than someone putting fake gold all over the place. Yes. Yeah. That's funny. That's pretty funny. That fake gold shit. And I loved it how Laura Ingraham, or whatever the fuck her name is, it's like, did you buy this? And is this from Home Depot? And he's like, no. Christina Sungo Squad, well, what's funny, if you look online, there is a court case that they deemed Donald Trump having an illness where he can't help himself from looking at porn or having sex or something nuts. I have not seen that court case. This is the very first time I've even heard anything about it, Christina. So there's a court case. Christina's saying that there's a court case where they deemed that Donald Trump has an illness, some sort of mental illness, I would assume. That's what to assume. Where he can't help himself from looking at porn or having sex or something, sort of like a porn addiction, and a sex addiction. Sounds like sex addiction and porn addiction to me. So I wonder, was that his defense in the case? Maybe that was his defense that they were offering. I don't know. Yeah, I didn't hear that. Paul Burrows, a little bit of Monica. A little bit of Monica. Yeah, isn't that one song? Yeah. Now I have that song in my head. Mad Max says, yeah, Epstein had an ankle bracelet and went wherever he wanted during the daytime. Ridiculous. Yeah, sweetheart deal. And not only that, though, I mean, just the fact that he didn't get locked up for like fucking 50 years. I mean, just just straight out locked up. And like, even if they didn't do the ankle bracelet and give him the work release time, and they just said, no, you're doing jail time. You're not getting work release. But they only gave him, I think, a year or two. It should have been at least 20 to life or something for what he did. That's the thing that gets me. I mean, the thing about him going home, that also is awful, because I'm absolutely sure that he was still raping these girls even while he was doing this sentence, because he was going to his house to where his massage table is, and the girls were coming over to do massages while he had the ankle bracelet on. It's all horrible. Jill Brandt says Alex Acosta was the Florida AG. Okay, so Alex Acosta was the Florida AG. What was Pam Bondi? Was she a DA? She was involved in this too, because she took a $25,000. Maybe she was running for AG. Maybe she was the DA at the time. I don't know, but she took a $25,000 campaign contribution, I believe, from Donald Trump or someone, or maybe it was Epstein. I don't know. Who the fuck did she get the campaign contribution from? It was either Trump or Epstein. And then all of a sudden, it's like the case just kind of went away. Like she didn't pursue it or something. Mad Mac, just bring the guys a beer, Mike. Oh, I'm mid-thread. Oh, Mike's got to go rake leaves and shit. Yeah, go give him. Just bring us some beer and you can watch. Yeah. Mad Max says, look at TJ thinking about good places to give a BJ. Haha. Well, I mean, we're on the subject. Since we're on the subject. But, like, okay, you're in the Oval Office. Because what I'm thinking is, like, do those doors have locks in the Oval Office? Because if you watch House of Cards or any show like that, they always show the Oval Office, and the doors are like it looks like there's no door handles or anything. It sort of just blends into the wall. And I'm just thinking, like, are there locks on those doors? How do you lock those doors? Because if I'm getting a blowjob, unless I'm wanting, to show it off, what's going on, I don't know. But if I don't want someone to walk in on me, I'm locking the doors. I'm fucking putting chairs up against the doors and the couch and the armoire. So I was just thinking that little stairwell is sort of like this door that's off somewhere, apparently accessible to the president, and according to House of Cards. I was just thinking that would be the perfect place. I think. I don't know. Where would you? I'll put it out to you guys in the chat. Where would you, if you were the president, where would you let Monica Lewinsky blow you? At what room? Would it be the Oval Office? Would it be the secret little stairwell thingy with the kind of has that French stairwell? What do we call it? Would it be in the copier room? Would it be? Where would it be? Because you got the missus you got to worry about. So it's not like you can go to your private residence there. There's probably limited places you can go to. Where would you guys do it? Doug says a blow room. Thanks, Doug. Thanks for that. Brooklyn says she was young and he had all the power. Yeah, but not getting into the whole dynamics of that with Bill and Monica. Again, I would say that it was inappropriate. I wouldn't say it was horrible, but that's just me. That's just my opinion. So you guys are entitled to yours. DPD5844 says, or anyone, but there's definitely not anything comparable to what Trump and Epstein and all those fuckers have been doing for decades. DPD5844 says, or anyone they are sending to these concentration camps. I mean, can you imagine the field is wide open? Who will protect them? Who will prosecute these motherfuckers? That's frightening. Some people say, I hear some people say that when the Republicans are out of power and the Democrats get in, that there will be these Nuremberg style trials. I don't know. Maybe that's just wishful thinking, but I guess we'll see. Christina Sungosqua says, yeah, because I sent it to my friend to show her, and I couldn't believe. I can email it to you so you can look at it, John. Some crazy shit that this man gets away with. It's unbelievable. Well, maybe is there some sort of a web address or a website or something to direct this to? Jill Bratton says, may have been consensual but gross use of power. I'd go horrible on it. Again, that's up to you guys. It's up to you. But I hope you agree that it does not compare to what even come close to what Trump and Epstein was doing to these girls. I hope we can at least agree on that, because I don't think it's even close. Like I said, we can get into the dynamics of the power dynamics and all that. From what I've heard of Monica, I don't think she's ever expressed any of that. I think she fell in love with the president, which is sad because he didn't love her. I don't believe. But And I understand. Okay, he's the president of the United States. There's definitely a power dynamic there. But I don't know. Yeah, but you're certainly entitled to think it was horrible. I just think the word horrible is a little too strong to me. But that's me. Maybe because I'm a guy. I don't know. DVD, it makes you wonder, Nola. They are vile, disgusting entities. Entities. Be careful with the word entities. Mad Max should have been neutered, if you ask me. I think referring to Epstein. DVD 5844 says Pam Dum Dum Bondi was the Attorney General. So she was the Attorney General. Well, then what was Acosta? I'm confused. I know she took a $25,000 campaign contribution and then she shut up about it. It went away. Sandy Foltz, who is this Megyn Kelly? Well, I thought someone explained it to you already in the chat, Sandy, but Megyn Kelly was a Fox News hostess, reporter. She had, for years and years and years, she had shows on Fox News. She's one of the pretty blondes that Fox News had. They had a whole string of them, of pretty blonde ladies. She was one of them. And her and who's the other one? The other one that did it first, as far as suing Roger Ailes. Oh, Roger Ailes was the CEO owner of Fox News. Well, no, actually, that would be Rupert Murdoch. But Roger Ailes ran Fox News, I guess, and was very rich and powerful himself. But Murdoch owns Fox News, but Roger Ailes had something to do with it, I guess, with running Fox News and everything. And anyhow, who was the other one? It was Megyn Kelly, and then there was another blonde who did it, even who filed, I think, even before Megyn Kelly filed a lawsuit alleging all kinds of sexual harassment and sexual assault, and she got, I think, like $30 million or something like that. I don't know. She got a bunch of money. Then Megyn Kelly did it. She got a bunch of money, and when they do that, they leave the show. I don't know if they get fired or they quit or whatever. But so Megyn Kelly was alleging all of this sexual assault, and I'm not saying it's not true. I guess we don't have to say alleged anymore because I think she won her case, right? But now she does her own podcasts and on the internet. I don't think she's a part of any network or anything, or like News Nation or whatever. I don't know what she is, but she does her kind of her own show, like I do, kind of like how I do, I guess. And she goes on and says crazy ass shit like 15. It's not 18, at least, or it's not 8. At least it's not 8, and she has a 15-year-old daughter. That's what gets me the most, I think. The fact that if she has a 15-year-old daughter and she's saying shit like that, it's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Brooklyn says there's a separate room off the Oval Office. Oh, is that where they were doing it? Was that where it was? Paul Burrows, I would not turn down a blowjob. See there? See guy? See ladies? Anyhow. Especially from, a consensual adult. If it was not an adult, then I would. Okay, I would turn it down. Christina and Son goes, so I was laughing out. Maybe the Situation Room where there's no disturbances. Yeah, but that would draw a lot of attention because I think when you go in there, everyone knows you're going in there. I don't know if there's a secret back way to get into the Situation Room. Mad Max says, as a longtime locksmith, I can tell you that they have locks. The doors look to be 3 inches thick, and I have identified the locks on those doors. I can even name the brand and finish. Wow, look at you, Mad Mac. Expertise. Sandy Foltz, I need to clean my house, but I'm still on here. Maybe work and lurk. Did the old work and lurk, Sandy? Nick Rich, a guy that respects his wife would decline the fellation. Yeah, I agree with that, Nick. Unless, as someone mentioned, if they have some sort of an open relationship, then that's their business, right? Which I don't know if they did or they didn't. I don't know if Hillary Clinton or has ever said one way or the other on that. But generally speaking, Nick, I would agree. Because I would hasten to guess that most people in committed relationships are probably against their significant other going off and having oral sex performed on them or whatever. In most cases, unless they have that kind of open relationship, or whatever. But it's kind of it's up to the couple. It's up to those to do that, and I don't know. So, yeah. So you guys said it does not come close. Jill Brett says agreed, not close. But yeah, just another example of man in power taking advantage of a woman, and I could see how you could I could see how you could see that, and I definitely, absolutely could see how that could be. DPD says, I hope so, TJ. Am craving retribution for every single one of these evil motherfuckers. Everyone, I hope that it sounds harsh. I stand by every word. Talking about these Nuremberg trials or Nuremberg style trials and stuff. But of course, we hear that shit. Like, how many times? I was telling people back during Trump's first stint as president that he was going to be in prison any day now, or as soon as he's out of office, he would be in prison. And of course, all my right wing friends, if you want to call them that, all thought I was crazy and stupid and wrong. And at least the wrong part they were right about. I don't know if I'm crazy and stupid. I might be crazy and stupid, but certainly I've been wrong. He's not in prison. He hasn't seen one fucking day in jail or prison yet. So we hear these things about Nuremberg trials and people are going to be held accountable, blah, 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 la-ti-da, but you don't really see it that much, And when they do get in there, it seems like they're not in there very long. Thank you, DPD. Gretchen Carlson. That was I think she was the first one, at least of the, the talking heads, the ladies that were on air, personalities there at Fox News, and Gretchen Carlson, and then Megyn Kelly, and I think there was a third one, wasn't there? That also sued. There may have been a third. Sandy Phillips, you should go on at 9 a.m. on Saturday. No, I'm going to sleep in on Saturday. I'm going to sleep in on Saturday. Mad Mac, I definitely would turn down a BJ from a dude. All right. I don't think Paul was talking about from a dude, but I get you. DPD5044 says, oh, and TJ, since you can't say the C word, phrase it like this. See you next Tuesday. Yeah, I know. I learned all about the see you next Tuesday. I can say the C word. I actually can. I've said it many times on this show, but then I always feel bad, like I've gone too far. You know what I mean? Like, oh God, I think I've gone too far. People are going to be really mad at me now for being too filthy or something. I don't know. Just too damn filthy. You can't say that. But anyhow, yeah. So yeah, see you next Tuesday. That's a good one. Brooklyn, oh please, Bill hasn't turned down anything. Yeah, old Bill, he was quite the horn dog, that's for sure. Quite the horn dog. Jill Branton says Paula Jones was the gal that accused Clinton of inviting her to his hotel room or something like that. Yeah, Paula Jones, I think that was also what came or was exposed during the Kinestar investigation, I think. Because the Paula Jones thing, it happened. That might have been, was he president then? I don't remember if he might have been governor when the Paula Jones things happened, but it came out during the Kinestar, investigation, I guess, when Clinton was definitely president. The Paula Jones things, I think, though, was when Clinton was governor. And that was pretty skeezy from what I remember of that. Because I do think that, according to Paula Jones' testimony, I believe she said that, I don't know, they were someplace. I don't know if they were in a hotel room or what, but apparently, he just whipped out his dick and said, like, you want to suck it or something? I don't know. And I think she declined. I believe she declined his query or whatever. MJ Daniels says Clinton did a decent job as president, but was a bit of a dirtbag when it came to women. He was a horny dude, horny fucking dude, and that's why I'm not surprised if he's on the Epstein list. And again, you guys are gonna not like me for saying this, but I think if he went over there, he probably banged some chicks that were definitely over 18, but I don't know that. No. And that might not make it any better. I mean, it would be better if we're talking about shades of crimes, I guess. I mean, the women, if Bill Clinton was banging, let's say, a 20-year-old or a 25-year-old on Epstein Island, let's say, for instance, he's not raping a child. Now that woman, I don't know. That woman, I don't know if she's there of her own volition. I don't know if she's been trafficked and kidnapped or and all that shit. So that's that whole thing. That it's not good. That's not right. But I do believe there are differences. In other words, I don't think Clinton is as bad as Trump in that I think Clinton, if he went over there to have, because maybe he heard that it's a party and there's all kinds of chicks there and you can get blown and laid, and he's like, yeah, I'll check it out. And then maybe he went and maybe he's banging some chick and she's like 25, but she's not 15 and she's not 8. But then it's like, well, is she being trafficked? So there's that whole thing. And that would be wrong. And that would be bad. But I wouldn't hold him as in my Trucker John justice system. I wouldn't punish Bill Clinton as severely as I would punish someone who is raping, a 15 or a 16-year-old or in anything, younger, anything like that. So there would be different degrees of punishment in the Trucker John Court of Justice, the Trucker John Hall of Justice. MJ Daniel says, how about get the damn Democrats the majority first, then we can talk impeachment and criminal trials. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Absolutely. Because it's not going to happen until then. DPD 5844 says, has anyone ever heard of Deborah's Blue Tarot on YouTube? She's really good and authentic. She's the real deal. I know because I have used her services. Don't judge. Oh, we won't judge you for that. And I have not heard of Deborah's Blue Tarot. Nick Rich, real women respect women. That's true, Nick Rich. Absolutely, 100%. Mad Max says, so why aren't they saying that Clinton has a mental disability for being a horn dog like the Orange Pedo? They're going to try and use he has mental issues that makes him do these things, bastards. And I don't always think that having a mental issue like that would save you from going to prison, or at least or in some sort of facility. At some point, a person that is a serial rapist, you need to be taken out of general society for the protection of society, whether you have this mental condition or not. Nick Rich, I've never met one. I'm not sure. I don't remember what that was about. Why are you saying pleasure to meet you, Trixie LaRue? Trixie LaRue, Brooklyn, isn't that Brooklyn? Brooklyn's been here forever. Oh, I missed it. Paul says, got to go back to work, trapping coho salmon on the Lostine River. I say Lostine, so Paul put that to help me with that pronunciation. Lostine River. All right, Paul. Yeah, have a good one. Catch lots of fish or whatever you're doing. What are you doing? You're doing. You're trapping. Trap a lot of fish. You go trap you some fish. Anyhow. All right, guys, it's getting late. I got to get going. It's 1:34 already. I got to continue on with my day. I think we had an interesting convo. Today. It's not every day we talk about blowjobs. Let's see here. Where do I want to put this? Should I just leave this? MAGA. I don't know. Oops. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'll be here. Tomorrow is going to be... I'll do my usual Saturday show right after Hal Sparks. I don't know, again, exactly what's going on with Hal. I haven't heard any updates. I know his dad is very, very ill and as far as I know, he hasn't passed yet, but he's in hospice care, and we know that his dad is dying, and so Hal is there with his dad and his family, and he's been doing that for a while. I don't know if there's going to be a Saturday show or not. Last Saturday they did, but this has been a week later, so I'm sure things are even worse if as far as his dad's condition. If he's still alive, I don't have the latest info. His dad, it's the point where his dad could have passed like right now. So anyhow, but there's probably going to be a Hal Sparks show, either a best of or it will be live. I don't know. So in any case, I will come on at 11 a.m. tomorrow on Saturday, and we will shoot the shit. We will shoot the shit. We'll talk about whatever we need to talk about. We'll talk about the stuff and the things, the goings-ons, and like we do. We'll do like what we do, but we'll do it again tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. All right, guys. I guess that's it. I'm thinking like, should we have Tough Cookie come in and just do a little obligatory appearance? That really, the show's over. So why should I have Tough Cookie just come in just for an obligatory little 1 minute thing, at this point? So I don't know if it's even worth bringing him in or not, since the show's over. Yeah, I think you should bring me in, Trucker John. God damn it. What the fuck? What is this? What am I, chopped liver over here? What am I? Am I chopped liver? Hey, yeah, you can bring me in for a couple minutes. What is up with you, Truck? What is wrong with you, Trucker John? Haven't you learned by now that really the only reason people come in here is for me, for the old Tough Cookie? So, yeah, you better give the people what they want, Trucker John. They want the Tough Cookie. They don't. They're sick of you. And all your blowjob talk. They're kind of sick of it. They're kind of hoping that Tough Cookie would come in and kind of get things back on track. Back on track. But anyhow, I think I got it, but I do have to go too. So I just need to pop in and say hi to everybody. All right. So hi. And bye. See you guys tomorrow. Oh. Okay, I was in mid cough when Trucker John asked me to come in. I was right there in mid cough. It was bad timing, Trucker John. You turned it on, and I was just mid cough. But hey, guys, thanks for being here. I'm the official thank you very much, guys. I wanted to say thank you very much, and I'm also the guy that reminds you to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Please subscribe. And also like, subscribe, and share. Those are free things you can do. Free. They're free. Free. I do see that Trucker John's up to 4,190 something. So he's almost at 4,200. So it'd be nice to get to 4,200 subscribers. If we could do that, that'd be great. And but yeah, thank you guys for being here. You guys are awesome. And I'll see you guys tomorrow right here, Trucker John channel on Saturday, 11 a.m. We'll see you. All right. Thanks, Paul and Cookie. Thanks, guys, so much. All right. So, again, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. Appreciate you guys putting up with my shit. I do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. And then remember, next week, I think I'm going to come on at 10 a.m. And I'm going to try that out. See how that works. So that means I'm going to have to make all new graphics and all new thingamajiggers, anything that has the old times. Not yet. I think we can do a week and we'll try it out. Trial basis. Next Monday through Friday will be 10 a.m. All right. Sandy Foltz. I just saw this. It says the whore across the street had charged $20. She's a black woman who only gives blowjobs to white men. Oh, that cracks me up. That really cracks me up. Okay. Anyhow, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good day as best as you can. Was this Pamela Maltese? Hi, you have big glasses on your puss. Thank you. I don't know. Are they big? They're not really that big, but anyhow. All right, guys. Paul Sharkey Man, 99 pound. Thank you very much, Paul Sharkey. Yippee, you're gonna get a yippee. Thank you, Paul, for coming on in. And I'm a little hoarse right now. I'm a little hoarse. All right, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow is Saturday, right? Do I got it right? Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. So I'll see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time, right after the Hal Sparks Show. Give your thoughts and prayers and thoughts of positivity and love and healing over to the Sparks family, if you would. That would be great, because I know most of us in here are sparklers, so keep them in your heart. Keep Hal and his family and his dad in your heart. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. All that's left to do now is the words of wisdom. So get your pen out and paper out and write this down, because these are keepers. Are you ready? All right, here we go. So for today's words of wisdom, just
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John Livestream. Yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John Livestream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food, the movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free. So you want to take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows, so go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. So damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye. See you later.
Yes! Yes! Woo! The Dodgers won! The Dodgers won! Yes! Yes! Woo-hoo-hoo! Dodgers won the World Series! Woo! Yeah! Yeah! Yeah, Clayton! Yeah! Woo-hoo!
God. That was, oh my God, that was the most amazing World Series ever. Dodgers!